So I was like so excited to go out, and I was like, well, maybe I should just lay down for a little bit because it was still really early. It was like 7:30, and I was like, let me just lay down for a second. Maybe I'll like kind of like get with it so I can get myself together and meet everybody at Teresta. I think it was like 9:30 or 10 o'clock we had said, and I think Norma V was supposed to be there at like 10:30 or maybe it was 11 because she worked that day, and oh my god, like I think I just drank so much that I like fell asleep, and like I don't remember what happened, but I know Brent woke me up and he was like, hey, he's like, are we gonna go? And I was like, yeah, we're still going. Are we going? We're going. And I think I just fell asleep. Like I don't really remember much of anything what happened. I felt terrible because like everybody had went out to Teresta for my birthday, and I think they couldn't celebrate it without me. So it was nice that I went there on my birthday, and I got to do the Boobs Cruise for my birthday, and I got to go to Shangri-La for my birthday. But it really sucked because I wanted to like go out and party with my friends, and I was too I drank too much. Me estoy chingada. I'm fucked up. So yeah, so the next day, March 23rd, I was like so excited to wake up in the morning because I was like, oh my lover, my Mexican lover. But he's not my Mexican lover anymore. I have news. So, he's like my best guy friend though at the Golden. And I woke up, I think it was like 8 o'clock because I went to bed so early. And I still felt kind of hungover. Like I had a headache the next day, which I usually don't get a headache after drinking. So I must have drank a lot. And like really underestimated how much I drank. So I went downstairs. I tried to get like as cute as possible because I'm like finally seeing all these people that I haven't seen in forever. And I think I did have a chance to say hi to Ray the first day, and then I had a chance to say hi to 808 Sensation, Mikey. I call him Mikey. I don't think he likes me calling him Mikey, but his name is Mike. And then I saw a few people at the Tiki Bar. I just said hi really quick, and then I had to leave to go to the Boobs Cruise on Monday. Tuesday, March 23rd, I went downstairs and I went right to the Paradise Buffet to have my delicious breakfast, which is what I eat every single morning, Paradise Buffet. I always get 2 eggs with a little bit of cheese and onion in the egg, which is so good, and like a little bit of bacon and some fruit. Amazing breakfast. I don't care if it's healthy or not, it's freaking delicious, and I wish I could eat it every day. And I actually lost weight this year. I lost about 6 pounds, whereas last year I gained like 13 pounds because of the damn buffet and all the freaking food you can freaking eat. Well, I was also there for 2 weeks, and this year I was, 13 days, and this year was 10 days. So, and I was so excited to see Gama, and I walked in, and I know somebody, I forget exactly who it was, but I think it was Pedro. I think he was there like 3 weeks before me, and he told him that I was coming. And I know Gama's probably like, yeah, she ain't coming. She always says she's coming. But, so it was March, and usually I go in March, but I go like a week or 2 earlier in March. So he probably thought since he didn't see me, I wasn't going to come. And anyway, I went down there and I was like, where's my Gama? And I saw him and I was just like, hi. And he was like, Mamacita! And he was like, come here, give me a hug. And yeah, he was so excited to see me. And I just miss him so much. Like I said, he's like my best guy friend at the Golden. My other best guy friend, Carlos, he doesn't work there anymore. All the fun people left. Not saying the people that work there now aren't fun. They are definitely fun and definitely a lot of fun. But I'm just saying, the people I really hung around with last year, they don't work there anymore. But, some of the people still do. Ray is still at the Tiki Hut. She's so beautiful. I love Ray. And who else? I don't remember. There's a couple new guys at the Paradise Buffet. There's this one guy. He's like really cute and he's like young, but he's like kind of rude. I don't know if I like him, but I kept trying to be like really friendly, but I don't know. But anyway, so I ate my food there and I went down to the pool and I was like, oh yeah, started my first day out topless, yeah, and I was like, let me just take it right off. So I laid down and I took my boobies out, and it was so funny because I was like, Brent was with me. That was like one of the few days that Brent was actually with me because he was always out and about doing whatever. And I was like, well, he's like, I'm done eating. I'm gonna go upstairs and get the towel key and whatever. And I brought my own towel, but I also used the hotel towels because one towel is never enough for a woman because we have like wet hair or whatever. And then you don't want to use like a wet towel one day and then like use a wet towel the next day. So that this year I think I actually brought 2 towels and I had the hotel towel. That was actually really beneficial because I got to use my towels for the boobs cruise, and I don't know, I just like altering, whatever. And my towels are more comfortable and they're bigger. But so yeah, so I asked him to put a towel down, and I asked him to find a chair, and since it was like 10 o'clock already or 9 o'clock and we hadn't picked a chair yet, I figured they would all be taken. And he was like, oh, I found a chair next to some Marine guy, you should like him, because, you know, my ex is in the Air Force. I know they're like not similar at all, but they're still armed forces. The Air Force and the Marines. Huh. Oh god, he got me saying that now. Hoorah. Air power. Sorry. So anyway, he put a towel down or whatever next to this guy, and I was like, all right. And I went down there and I was like, oh, I'm thinking Marine guy, you know, kind of like middle-aged, like, you know, 50-something, maybe 45, I don't know, you know, probably with his wife, whatever. And I went down there and it was like this young guy. He must have been like 30 years old, and he was clearly a Marine, like you could tell by the tattoos and everything. And I don't know, and I sat next to him, and you know, I actually talked to him for a little bit. He was cute too, but I don't know. My boyfriend is hot. So anyway, but I was talking to him for a little bit, and I was like, would it offend you if I took my top off? And he was like, what? And I was like, well, this is the topless hotel. I was like, I just want to make sure that you wouldn't be like offended if I take my top off. Usually I would never ask, but because I was in the middle of a conversation with someone, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, so I was just here and this is like, you know, whatever. And he'd be like, you know what I mean? Like, so I was just trying to be respectful of the dude. So I'm saying, like, if he said he had a problem with it, I would probably move my chair to somewhere else and then, you know, fucking take my shit off. But anyway, so took my tits out. I was like, hey girls, look at my play. And got some suntan lotion, whatever. I asked him to rub it on my back. He did, which is awesome. And I don't know, like, and then my friend came down. He swam for a little bit. And I put the chair in the pool because it was kind of hot. I'm not used to the Cancun weather at that point. And I played some tequila volleyball, my favorite sport ever, which is probably why I lost like so much weight, because now instead of playing tequila volleyball only at 3 o'clock, there's one at like 11 o'clock as well. So I played every day for, I think it's an hour each time, and sometimes we got carried away and it was a little bit longer than an hour. So, I mean, with that and dancing my ass off at the club and walking so much and, you know, actually eating 3 meals a day, maybe more than that, because at home I eat like 1 meal a day because I just don't have the time or I don't have the money. Or I'm just too busy running all over the place and working a bajillion hours and whatever. So it was kind of nice to actually be able to sit down, relax, have someone make a meal for me and not have to do the dishes. And not have to make food for somebody else. So yeah, so I had a lot of fun, and you know, went to the tiki bar, and it was crazy because I was walking out of the bathroom and I was like, oh, hey. And then I realized who it was, and I was like, oh, hey, how you doing? And he was like, huh, mommy, I know you from somewhere. I was like, yeah, you know me from here. And it was Fonzie, Alfonso, yeah, bartender. And he was like, why are you looking at me like that? Or he said something like that. And I was like, oh, I was like, remember? I was like, you don't like me? He's like, what do you mean I don't like you? He's like, how could I possibly not like you? He's like, you're gorgeous, whatever. He's like, you're so pretty. And I'm like, yeah. I was like, well, last year you were a complete dick to me. And he's like, what? Mommy, tell me about this. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah, like, you were so mean to me. Like, you were always making fun of me. And I was like, it was funny at first, but then you, like, totally took it, like, way too far. And then I started getting, like, truly offended and insulted to the point where if I knew that you were working, I wouldn't even go to the tiki bar. Like, I would just be like, ah, freak it. Like, I could just chill by the pool, or I could have somebody else get my drinks. I don't care. And I was like, or I'll wait till Carlos comes in, or Freddie, or whoever. And he was, like, really, like, sad that he thought that he insulted me or offended me. And he was like, mommy, he's like, I'm so sorry that I ever made you feel like that. He's like, if I made you feel like that, I'm so sorry. He's like, I don't remember ever being mean to you or insulting you. He's like, but if I made you feel that way, I feel really bad and I'm sorry. And, you know, I think he, like, kissed me on my cheek or gave me a hug or something. And he's like, I'm really sorry. And he's like, come see me, come see me. And I was like, man, I was like, nobody's going to believe this. So I really forgive him. And I actually wanted to make amends with him this year. So I'm glad that I did. But I actually took a picture with him. I don't know if it was later that day or when it was. And I was like, man, I was like, nobody's going to believe this. I was so happy that he was, like, nice enough and sincere and genuine enough to actually really apologize. Because in America, you don't find that very often when someone's wrong. So I'm going to make another video because it's right about 10 minutes.